And good evening, ladies and gentlemen, here from Lexington, Ohio, the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. Getting set for 35 laps here tonight in a nationwide car with Real Sim Racing Asphalt Assault Series here on Thursday night. Joining me in the booth tonight, none other than Dakota Ehrman along for the ride tonight. And of course, Laura Lawson, she's downstairs in the trailer pushing the buttons on the cameras for you tonight. But Dakota tonight, 35 laps at Mid Ohio. This is a road course. It's a narrow road course like Infineon is, and 13 turns here. I'm not that familiar with the course at all. Never took a ride in one of these machines around here, but have watched these guys practicing here tonight. And I think the key to this whole thing tonight is, like any other road course, is going to be keeping the car on the pavement, all four tires pointed in the right direction, and just staying off the grassy areas.
Well, I'll tell you what. Hold up. We'll back it up right here. First off, two road courses in a row. Last week we had Watkins Glen. Now we go to Mid-Ohio. Secondly, I've never laid eyes on this track before the past hour, so I mean I don't know what's going on. We come to a road course, anytime we come to a road course. But again, two road courses in a row. That's going to shake things up. And then this racetrack, you think that you can keep your tire. If you can keep the car under you can keep the car going straight. You're going to get a decent finish. I can tell you personally, last week that didn't quite work out. You've got to be a little quick. You have to have some road knowledge, and I think you really have to watch out for some of the guys that are in here subbing, like Chad Coley's in here subbing. He's going to be strong. There's going to be a lot of guys in the field that are going to be really strong. I think we'll have a great race here tonight.
Yeah, and you know who isn't here tonight is Matt Lacrosse. I do not see him on the driver's list here at Mid-Ohio tonight. Of course, Matt Lacrosse, he finished first last week at Watkins Glen, led every single one of the 36 laps there, and I think he may have a substitute driver tonight, I'm hearing.
No, he actually had a sub last week in Chad Cole.
Ah, there you go. Okay, so and then Chad Cole is on the track here tonight as well. So we'll see what Chad Cole can do with this machine here tonight. Good effort during practice session here so far. Ben Burnett with the quickest time, 1:25.636. So it takes about a minute and a half to get around this place at race trim. So again, this is much like the 2.5 mile tracks at Watkins Glen, Sonoma, Infineon, and whatnot. But hey, getting set for a fun night tonight with the Asphalt Assault Series. Let's take them down through the points, let them know who's who and who's where here at the Real Sim Racing Asphalt Assault Series. Leading the pack is Stefan Marinak, and I'll tell you what, Cowboy, this dude is putting it together. He's got 5 wins under his belt right now, but hey, whoa there a minute. 34 points back is Bobby Terrell with 7 wins in his back pocket. Bobby Terrell's also led the most laps so far at 495. And 34 points back, Stefan Marinak, he's got to get on his A game here tonight at Mid-Ohio. CJ LeVere, he set second in the points, 50 back from the lead. And he's led even more than Stefan Marinak at 322 laps. Marinak has only led 283 laps, but I tell you what, Cowboy, Marinak knows how to put it together and get the job done. Sitting fourth is Matt Lacrosse. He's 50 points back, shares that seat with C.J. LeVere up there in third. And Clint Monahan, he's in the top 5 here. He's 172 back from the leader, and looking for Clint to have a good night here at Mid-Ohio as well.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, when you look at these top 5, Stefan Marinak, I mean, he's had a lot larger lead. It's kind of slimmed down a little bit. Bobby's got to get on his A game, but I mean, he's been really stout all season. I think he's chasing down Stefan right now. Look at CJ, he's been strong all season. He's got a sub tonight in Chad Cole, and you got to remember Chad Cole winning at Watkins Glen. He knows how to get it done on a road course. Matt Lacrosse, who was actually the guy that was being subbed for by Chad Cole last week, he's sitting fourth. He's tied with LeVere. When you talk about that, Lacrosse not being here tonight, he's going to lose. I mean, he is definitely going to lose some points here and lose out on this battle a little bit. And then Clint Monahan, right now, there is no chase in this series, so he's just got to keep running. He only has a 20-point lead or so over Brian Harvey, who sits in 6th. How about Rhett McBride sitting 7th, 191 points out? He's tied with Brian Harvey. John Abbott sits 8th, 209 out. He is not far behind McBride and Harvey, so they both have to run away because John Abbott is coming alive towards the end of the season. Glenn Campbell sits 9th with Douglas White running out the top 10 in the standings. They have a 3-point separation between those last two there.
You bet. And Bobby Terrell, he came in second last week to Matt Lacrosse at Watkins Glen. Of course, both those Cowboys started on the front row. So we'll see what they can do here tonight at Mid-Ohio. And again, I mean, the whole key of this thing here tonight, as much as I've sat and watched these road course races, I mean, you got to keep your car pointed in the right direction. You got to keep all four tires on the pavement. If you happen to get two of them up onto the grass, hey, that's no man's land, cowboy, and you're going to go for an e-ticket ride for sure. As we watch practice here, watching number 4 car here, that's Chad Cole getting out of shape and onto the grass. So it's going to be a lesson for everybody here tonight for sure. And like I said at the top of the show, Dakota, there are 13 turns in this puppy. We start out at the start finish line, big old long straightaway down into turn 1, and it's going to be a kind of a breezy left-hand turn, and then another pretty good little straightaway down into the keyhole, turn 2, and it's a hairpin turn. And then there's a long sweeping right hand it's not really a turn, nor is it a kind of a dog leg, but it's a long straightaway, got kind of a right hand bend to it into China Beach, turns 4, 5, and 6. You come out of 6, you go through the S's 7 and 8, and then a right hand turn in turn 9 down through Thunder Valley into a sweeping right hander, turn 10, and then kind of a bend over left hand turn in turn 11, and then round the corner 12 and 13, the carousel back to the start finish line here at Mid-Ohio Sports Car course. So 2.4 miles. This place opened up in 1962, Dakota. It's operated by Green Savory Racing Promotions.
And I tell you what, this place, I don't know how you'd even go faster. I don't know how you'd be competitive here. This track is such a unique track. It's a road course, but it's also unique. It's way different than Watkins Glen. It's way different than Sonoma or Infinity, whatever you want to call it. This is probably one of the most unique road courses we go to all season long, I think, and we don't visit very many of them. And it's very rare that you get 2 road courses in a row. You talked a little bit about, keeping the car straight, keeping it pointed in the right direction, and keeping it on track. But a lot of guys complain that, at plate tracks, you don't control your own destiny. I think it's at this kind of track, if you can kind of control your own destiny, but when you get around to the cars, if they make a mistake, you can pay for it big time here. And I mean, it's just like that at any track, but this time, really big here because one car can get in the grass, and I mean, they can just come right back up, take you out, or take out a lot of cars. I mean, that's how road course racing is, and it's very unique in that way. But we don't see that as much.
No, and you're absolutely right about these plate tracks. I mean, you get out on some of these other tracks, and it's about racing the competition out there. Forget the track, cowboy, because the cookie cutters, the mile and a half, they're pretty much all the same game. The 2 big plate tracks, hey, it's just mash the gas to the bottom and keep it rolling. But on the road course races, it's about racing the track first, and then the competition. The competition are those obstacles that you just got to find a way around. And of course, like I said, this track is pretty narrow. This kind of reminds me of the Infineon track up in Sonoma, California here, and difficult to pass on. So you got to kind of pick and choose, where you want to make that pass and take that advantage here at Mid Ohio. So looking for a night of fun here and at Mid Ohio tonight. And again, this is Real Sim Racing Asphalt Assault Series. Dakota Ehrman up in the booth with me here tonight. The Cowboy calling the action for you. And of course, Laura downstairs pushing the buttons. We're trying something new out tonight. We finally got our YouTube Live up and running, so that's what you're watching here tonight. And looks like we got a couple of viewers already tuned in and paying attention already. So it's going to be a fun night here at Mid-Ohio for sure. And if you didn't catch the action last night, we had a little bit of drama last night as well. Was it last night or Tuesday night?
I couldn't tell you. I wasn't here.
I think it was it was Wednesday night. It was actually last night. This is I know what it was. It was the Triple Crown Series is what we do. God, we do so many, I lose count of what we do anymore. But the Triple Crown Series, lots of drama at I think it was Martinsville Speedway last night, and we were in the tour mods, the tour modifieds, and I'll tell you what, you got to catch up on that too. But the replay, of course, is up on the website here at etv-eplay.net. Just go to the archives. But right now, we're getting set. I think what we're going to wind up doing here is taking it trackside. I believe the Cactus Cuties are standing by. I hear those 4 beautiful young gals warming up down there. Let's go trackside for the national anthem.
By the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And a big thank you to the Cactus Cuties. I'll tell you that still makes the hair stand up on the back of my neck when I hear those young ladies sing that most wonderful song here at the live events on ETV Live. But and big thanks to the virtual Thunderbirds for the flyover, and those are real pilots in those aircraft. So just like the multiplayer racing that we do here with the simulation racing, those are actually real pilots in each one of those jets on the flyover for the virtual Thunderbirds. And again, big thanks. Let's take them down through the lineup here, Dakota. Let them know who's who and who's where. I'll take the top 10 here. Rhett McBride, he'll be starting on the pole in that number 15 machine. And he's looking for a good night here tonight. And starting second on the outside is going to be Ben Burnett. Chad Cole in the number 4 car. He'll be starting in the 3rd position on the inside. On the outside of him, Bobby Terrell at number 7 and 4th. Starting 5th in the number 44 machine, Glenn Campbell on the inside. John Abbott, he'll be starting in number 10 in 6th position on the outside. Back on the inside in number 7 position is the 42 of Jimmy Jones. In the 50 machine, in 8th position, Justin Wilson on the outside. Back to the inside with Douglas Wyatt. He's driving that number 12 machine in 9th. And rounding out your top 10 on the grid, Augusto Gabaldoni. He'll be starting in that 69 car in 10th position.
Rolling off 11th, it's going to be the 24, the points leader, Stefan Marinak on his outside. The 66 machine, Brian Harvey, rolling off 13th. The 47 of Eric Arnold. And Stephen Almendo going to roll off 14th. J. Randall Watkins rolls off 15th in his 77 machine with Barry Hines in the 57 on his outside in 16th. Marvin Turnmeyer Jr. going to roll off 17th in his 16 machine with the 65 of Ed Williams Jr. rolling off 18th on his outside. And Doug Roth finally going to roll off 19th in the 43 machine with the 20th place car being the 71 of Keith Brooks Jr.
Jimmy Norris, John Wilco, Nathan Bowers, Mark Bratcher, and Frank Coons will round out your top 25 for the night here at Mid-Ohio. And a little word about the 84 machine. That's Jimmy North down there. He's my co-host on the Rewind BS and Back Talk radio show every Tuesday night. So if he can keep it clean on all four tires and finish this thing, looking for the checkered flag here tonight, I'm sorry, folks, but there won't be any souvenirs this week off the 84 car. But only time will tell. We've got 35 laps to see if he can do it. So we'll see if he can get the job done or not. Red McBride up in front with Ben Burnett. That ought to be a show. And I tell you what, Bobby Terrell, who finished second to Matt Lacrosse last week, Bobby Terrell, he's starting in the second row in 4th position. He's up on the outside. Don't know whether that's good or bad, but we'll keep an eye on that number 7 machine. I got a funny feeling that this cowboy maybe heading to the front row up here before this night is over with. John Abbott is another one to watch here, that number 10 machine. Good qualifying effort here tonight at Mid-Ohio, so we'll keep an eye on John, who is starting in the 6th position here, just outside of the top 5. But you know what? you know, I think this is going to be a fun night here. This is a track where you got to kind of pick and choose, you know, your passing points here. This is not a very wide track at all, and there's not a whole lot of room for mistakes. So, I mean, there's a grassy edge pretty much all the way around this thing. A little bit of a rumble strip there, but you don't want to get too tangled up with that either. It'll throw your car out of balance and away you go, especially around the turns here. But 35 laps on the board here, and we're just almost to the starting grid here. The green flag is out. We're off and running here. Rhett McBride picks it up side by side with Ben Burnett up here. Chad Cole watching all that action happen out in front of him. Still side by side, Burnett and McBride up here in front. Looks like the 15 machine may have an advantage, but the 11 is motoring on past for the lead.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering about. The 15 had the preferred line into turn number 1, but he won't have it to 2 if he could not clear Burnett. He isn't able to clear Burnett, and Burnett's going to clear him going into 2 and around that corner. That's a very unique corner. Going to be one of the more interesting ones to watch for the night, but it looks like Burnett will run away from McBride here for the moment.
Cole has to get off the gas there. Chad Cole driving that number 4 machine off into the grass, had to whoa that pony up big time, Cowboy, and loses a position. So we'll have to keep an eye on Chad Cole. Glenn Campbell back here in the 44 machine, he saw all that action taking place as he gets a little bit squirrely coming off the turn, and pretty much single file all the way back here, Dakota. I mean, all the way back to the back. The 84 car, Jimmy North in 19th position, struggling before we get the first lap in the books here, but we'll keep an eye on him as well.
And watching everybody just kind of single file right now is that I heard wreck on the racetrack. Oh, 62 off track, I heard. Like, oh, as we have somebody else around, Doug Roth, that's not Doug Roth, that's just behind him. Looks like Nathan Bauer's 85 machine, 23rd position. He's going to go around right in front of a lot of cars, gets to turn back around after everybody's gone. He's going to lose quite a bit of time on the racetrack, though.
And, you know, word has it that they did send the flagman home here at Mid-Ohio tonight, too. So, they did turn the caution lights off here for this race tonight at Mid-Ohio. So, hey, you're on your own, Cowboy. You spin this baby out, and you got to collect it up and limp back to the pits and get your repairs done. But still pretty much single file. I'm sitting here back here, I'm still, you know, kind of back of the line here watching John Wilco in 22nd position in the 62 machine. And he's being very patient right now, just kind of keeping an eye on things here, keeping that car pointed in the right direction, and moving up here just a little bit. Let's go up to Jimmy Jones in 20th position here to the 42. He's doing battle with Eric Arnold. Arnold's going to the 42 goes for an E-ticket right off the turn into the grass. The 42 around already here. So Jimmy Jones trying to get the position on the 47 machine of Eric Arnold, spins it around here, is able to keep the car fired up, gets back on the track, no harm, no foul, but Jimmy Jones is going to lose a whole ton of positions here already on lap 2.
43, if Doug Roth runs into trouble, he also spun just around the next corner that Jimmy Jones had spun, so Jones actually going to get back past Doug Roth as Roth took a little while to recover. They're both back on track and moving forward once again in the right direction. Looking up front, we had a battle kind of for the top 4 spots. The leaders are all kind of together. I think you see the first 2 are together with McBride trying to run down the 11 of Burnett. You look back at 3rd, it's the 7 of Terrell, and you have right behind him Chad Cole subbing for CJ LeVere, trying to run each other down, or trying to race here if they can. I think they want to run down the leaders right now, though.
Yeah, and you know, all the way back here in 5th position is the 44 machine, and he's quite a ways off the leaders up there, almost a full 2.5 seconds here. Glenn Campbell sitting back here in 5th position, but as the guys up in front are duking it out up here, pass for 2nd place up here, that's going to be Bobby Terrell getting after it, that number 7 machine. I'll tell you what, Cowboy, there's a wheel man if I ever seen one. So he almost gets that car sideways, manages to get around to 15.
The 15, he got wicked sideways. I don't know whether he caught the grass or what, but he knocked the car sideways, saved it, but that's what allows Bobby Terrell to sneak right on by that 15 machine, take over the second position, and try to run down as you see the 7 car way up the racetrack. I believe that's what the groove is. What am I talking about? But yeah, that's going to allow the 7 car to try to run down the leader now, as looks like McBride falling back into the clutches now, the 4 of Chad Cole.
You bet. Oh, looks like Ben, or who was that? I think that was Bobby Terrell. The 7 machine got wicked sideways. 15 of Rhett McBride is going to come along for the position. Terrell almost losing it there, coming off the turn. So wicked battle taking place up in their front here, as the 4 car Chad Cole almost gets sideways off the turn 2.
I think Cole's just kind of sitting back waiting on somebody to make a mistake. He saw 2 already. He just cannot strike because he's not in the right position. You see now that the 7 and the 15 getting a pretty good gap in between them. The 11 loving this as he is running away. That's Ben Burnett, the leader. Really liking his gap that he's got. I'm sure he's going to try to stretch it out. I think he's come a little short on the road courses before, but not this time so far, as he is looking to run away a little bit here.
You know, I think what happens on a lot on these road courses is you know, mentally you keep concentrating on that car in front of you, and you know, you're kind of setting that up as a target up there to you know, try to do what you can to overtake and overcome. But I think what's happening is these guys concentrate on that too much and they forget about the track. And this track's got it's got a ton of right-handers, left-handers. I mean, this is a road course. And you really got to be paying attention. So it's easy to lose your train of thought while you're concentrating on the competition out in front of you. This is what I was talking about earlier, Dakota. You really got to race this track first before you take on the competition. When you find yourself on the bumper of the car in front of you, hey, that's just another obstacle. Then you start picking and choosing, try to get that machine of yours around. But in the meantime, race the track, cowboy, before you get there.
Well, see, there's that option of picking and choosing, or just, you know, back way off. I mean, you got to be really careful here. You can't get in the way. You can't put yourself in a dangerous situation either. If you try to make a pass at the wrong time and you're too low going to the corner, you're not going to make the corner. You're going to shove up and spin both of the 2 cars out. So I mean, you got to be really careful. This road course racing is very intriguing. I'm going to put it as I don't do much of it or watch much of it. But I mean, you know, doing what I did last week, you know, I was able to get in the cars and race around a little bit, run around the racetrack. It's extremely hard to get around any road course, it seems like, and these guys do it so well. And with the lap times they run and everything, that they're doing it back to back every lap, it's extremely awesome to watch these guys go around and race. You see the 4 running down the 7, looking to maybe get underneath him, not quite going to have the run he was looking for, but Chad Cole making a pretty good run up to the bumper of that 7 of Bobby Terrell right now.
And I tell you what, like I said, Bobby Terrell, he finished second behind Matt Lacrosse last week at Watkins Glen, so he does know how to get the job done. And taking a ride with Chad Cole here at that number 4 machine as he tries to chase down that 7 of Bobby Terrell up here. I tell you what, cowboy, with 6 laps in the books here at Mid-Ohio Speedway, things are still pretty much single file. And I mean, you know, from the front to the back here. Now on the hauler and headed for the barn is the 85 of Nathan Bowers, calling it quits for the night. He's pretty much done, and like I said, on the hauler and headed for the barn. But in the meantime, Ben Burnett has built up almost a 2-second lead over Rhett McBride and Bobby Terrell up here. Of course, Terrell now kind of drifting backwards a little bit, was making a run with that 15 machine, but I think Terrell got a little bit nervous back there a couple laps ago when he had that little incident with the 15 coming alongside.
I would say so, and something like that'll scare you a little awake, where you've got to, you know, maybe back up and be a little bit more careful. And you see that now as he's kind of backed up a little bit, but he's still able to run away now from Chad Cole, as Cole had been running him down. How about the 44, Glenn Campbell, 5th position? He is now running these guys in front of him down. You see him getting a little bit bigger in the picture here, maybe a little slow getting off of that corner, but the 44 been laying down some pretty decent lap times, pretty close to the leaders. Actually, he was 2/10 off of Chad Cole, which is not a whole lot at a road course. You see him coming up on Chad Cole pretty quickly going into this corner right here.
And how about John Abbott back here? He's currently running in 8th position, dropped a couple of positions here from the qualifying. Remember, he started 6th. So John Abbott kind of going backwards here a little bit. I don't know that these guys, I don't know what these guys expected or maybe they didn't know what to expect here at Mid-Ohio. I mean, this is not the usual track. The usual track would have been, something like Watkins Glen or Infineon, but tonight it happens to be Mid-Ohio. So, and I know the nationwide cars. Dakota, you and I were talking pre-race here before the show tonight. That the real nationwide cars here, they've only run here a couple of years, I think.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I know that I know they ran last year, but I don't, pay much attention to the Nationwide Series. I just kind of started paying a little bit more attention, and I know they run here, but I don't know how long they've run here. I have never looked at this track before. I've never watched it on TV. I've never raced it on iRacing. I've never spectated it on iRacing. This is the first time, so this is a really interesting racetrack here.
Yeah, it is, and I tell you, it's a beautiful looking track. Kind of reminds me of Virginia International Raceway. I've been there a couple of times, and I tell you, if you ever get the chance to get out there to Virginia and go to Virginia International Raceway, that's just an absolutely gorgeous track out there. I mean, you can the paddocks are wide open. You can walk through and walk right into the garages, talk to the drivers, crew chiefs, and look and see. And on the weekends they have a lot of old race cars out there, real old timer type stuff. And it's a ton of fun to go out there and watch those guys race around VIR. But in the meantime, Chad Cole here in the number 4 car, he's running in 4th position here. And I think he's having a difficult time hanging on to that machine. He gets wicked loose in the turns here, and it may be that he's just not used to running these road courses. I know Chad Cole, I mean, he's tough to beat on the ovals, but this is something new for him, I know. Is he's not necessarily a road course driver. So, but Chad Cole holding his own up here in the top 5. Glenn Campbell, he just backed almost, let's call it 5.5 seconds behind the leader. He's about 2 seconds off of Chad Cole up there. So, and these guys are starting to get spread out by quite a bit. Stefan Marinak, the points leader, he's running in 6th position back here, but Dakota, he's like 13 seconds off the lead up here in front.
But yeah, if you remember where he started, he actually started in around, I want to say, 11th position. So he's up 5 spots from where he started, climbing up to the field pretty well. But that comes at a cost. You got to do that slowly. You got to do it carefully. We talked about navigating traffic. You got to race the racetrack before you race the competition. That's what he's doing. But he's got to take his time. Take his time with that. I think he was kind of out of it before he started, starting as far back as he did. But we've seen comebacks from further back. He's just got to, kind of ride it out right now and maybe make something up on pit stops or something like that. But you see up front, it looks like Rhett McBride might have actually knocked down, and never mind. It looks like Rhett McBride just had a large problem as he's fallen back to 4th and lost just about 3 seconds of what he had gained on Ben Burnett.
You bet. And Chad Cole running over the cones there. So a couple of cones out in the middle of the racetrack. But I tell you what, Cowboy, these guys up here in front, they're doing everything they can to stay in eyesight of one another. Let's talk about Stefan Marinak here for a minute. Now, this guy's only led 283 laps so far in the season. So that's, not a whole lot of laps when you talk about Bobby Terrell, who's got 495 under his belt, or C.J. Levere with 322 laps. Even Matt Lacrosse has got 178 lead laps, which is no slouch there. But I'll tell you what, Stefan Marinak with only 283 laps, the guy's got like numerous top 10s and I think 7 or 8 top 5 finishes and 5 wins. That's how you go to the top of the pile in the points. Bobby Terrell, behind him by 34 points coming into Mid-Ohio here tonight. So it's not a matter of leading the most laps at all. It's a matter of, what you do towards the end of the race. And I'll tell you what, Stefan Marinak knows how to put it together. He's a come-from-behind type driver. So look for Marinak possibly up here mixing it up with these guys here later on in the race.
Let's see, JD, it doesn't matter how many laps you lead, it matters which lap you lead. You got to lead the last one. He's done it a few times. He's really good. I mean, you've seen a few times where he starts in the rear of the field. He kind of sneaks his way through the field. He'll come up to the front by the end of the race, and all of a sudden you've got your points leader. He was just real fast, like at the beginning of the season, just clicking off wins, or clicking off, top 5s, top 10s, awesome finishes, and that's what's put him up front. He had a big gap, and that was just, I don't know, it seems like he's been playing around with these guys. They'll start in the back or start somewhere mid-pack and just kind of he just race his way through the field, which is, a lot of fun for him and awesome to watch.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you what, 10 laps in the books here at Mid-Ohio. Let's go ahead and step away, take our first commercial break of the night. you're watching live ATV Live Cowboy. There is no other choice, so don't wander off. We'll be right back.
Race fans, it's time for those most famous words in motorsports. Drivers, start your engines!
Michael Conti comes up at a corner number 4, and the checkered flag, he wins his first NASCAR highlight.
Inside SimRacing.tv, the fastest show on the internet. Sim racing news and reviews since 2007, with new shows every week.
And we are back live here at Mid-Ohio with the Real Sim Racing Asphalt Assault Series here, 2.4 mile road course. And Ben Burnett, who has been holding down the fort from the get-go up here, he's about let's call it 3.2 seconds out in front of Terrell. Terrell in that number 7 machine, you know, he's doing a terrific job here at Mid-Ohio. Rhett McBride back here in the 15 machine, he's running about almost 4 seconds behind the leader up there. And of course, Glenn Campbell, who has occupied that 4th position now in that 44 car. Chad Cole had an electrical problem with his machine, and has managed to get that number 4 car of his into pits. Unfortunately, he's going to go down a lap here, Dakota, and that's dangerous. That's a dangerous thing to do here on a road course. There are no cautions here tonight, so there is no lucky dog. He's going to have to race that lap back if he can do it, and chances are that that's pretty much history for that number 4 car. So Chad Cole gets refired and works himself down pit road. He'll be back out on the track here shortly, but giving up that position to the 44 of Glenn Campbell, who gets sideways off the turn here. So your top 5, Burnett, Terrell, McBride, Campbell, and Stephen Marinac in that 24 car, your top 5.
What's really ironic, the teammates are having electrical problems because Glenn Campbell, teammate to Chad Cole, he was having some radio problems, some team communication problems I saw, but it looks like he got that problem fixed. About the same time Chad Cole had electrical problems, they pulled it behind the wall, they thought they had it fixed, they pulled it back to pit road, and still had to wait a little bit longer before they were able to roll out. That's going to cost them a little bit more time. The only thing they can do now is hope that they don't have to pit again. I really don't see that happen. I think they might have to even come back down pit road because they didn't pit late enough here. So I don't know that strategy is going to help them. I don't know, you know, what it's going to take for him to race his way back up there, but I don't know that it's possible.
Yeah, you know, I think the any chance for the number 4 machine getting up to the front again is probably history by now. 11 laps in the books, or actually, I believe it's 13 laps in the books here at Mid-Ohio. And the 42 car just having an issue here. That's Jimmy Jones up here. I'm going to roll this one backwards here. 42 car sitting in 13th position, off into the into the kitty litter here. Just takes it on around. No damage to the 42 car, but he does take it around into the kitty litter. Keeps it fired up, back up on the track again, and the 42 away here at Mid-Ohio. So Jimmy Jones having an issue back here as he goes down a lap to the leaders up here as well.
Yeah, I think there's a few guys that have been struggling. You talked about Nathan Bowers. He was out rather early. If you remember me talking about him early on in the race, he had spun the car around. As soon as he got going, he spun the car back around again, put it in the wall. Had a lot of damage from that, I believe. And he just could not keep the car on the racetrack, so that's what put Nathan Bowers out of the race. There's a lot of guys just struggling to keep a hold of the car. We saw Chad Cole. We saw a lot of leaders that were sideways coming off the corners. Some guys just having a lot of trouble hanging on to it. I think we're seeing that here as the 42 maybe abused his tires trying to hang on to it or running too hard.
And hearing another one, I'm hearing the 12 machine. 12 machine into the tires off the track here, and he takes a hard lick into the tires, and manages to get it back out on the track, keeps it fired up.
I don't even know how he did that, JD. I really don't.
And the 55, I think that's Ed Williams Jr., he sees that happening out in front of him, and he goes off into the grass on the right side of the 12 car. So 65 machine, Ed Williams Jr., fight that car, gets it back up on the pavement. But I think what happened is Ed Williams Jr. saw what was going on with the 12, jumps off the throttle trying to avoid a collision, and just gets out of shape on him.
And see Chad Cole having electrical problems once again in his floor machine, subbing for CJ LeVere. That's going to put him back behind the wall and possibly, I believe, another lap down. He's already 2 laps down. I believe he's going to lose a lot more time. I don't know that we'll see the 4-car return as he is, so far back that I don't know that you can recover much out of that. The 4-car was looking for a strong points night. I don't know that he'll gain a whole lot on Matt Lacrosse, who is not here tonight. But he will still gain a few points for Chad Cole's run. It looks like they're trying to get the 4-car back on track.
You just got to stay with it, stay persistent, finish the race, and get as many points as you can. Of course, Lacrosse sitting in the 3rd position with LeVere. They're only 50 points behind Stefan Marinak. So, it's just a huge night for that number 4 car here tonight. Also, Brian Harvey and Rhett McBride. Rhett McBride up there in the front right now in 3rd position. He and Brian Harvey are running pretty much in the 6th position in the points, so they share that seat, 191 behind the leader. So Rhett McBride, this could be a pretty big points night for him tonight here as well.
Yeah, that it could. And how about Stefan Marinak? You talk about points leader up to the 5th position. He's only 14 seconds back. He's lost a second since we last talked about him, but he's still making up some pretty good, some pretty solid lap times. He's actually a lot closer to Glenn Campbell. He can see Glenn Campbell. He's 2 seconds back compared to where Glenn Campbell is running with the leaders, up there that are about 3 seconds behind the leader. 13 seconds in front of both of those cars. Marinak's really recovering very nicely. He started 11th, and he's just working his way slowly through the field. Like you said, he's going to race the track, and that's what he's doing. He's kind of making up a lot of time on the competition just doing that, it looks like.
And, we were talking about Rhett McBride up there running in 3rd position now. Brian Harvey, who sits in that same seat, he's all the way back here in 10th in that 66 car. So Harvey, he needs to do something here. He's 47 seconds behind the leaders, Cowboy. He's about 40, let's call it 42, 43 seconds behind Rhett McBride. So he needs to put the spurs to that pony and urge his ride on up there a little bit closer if he wants to do battle with McBride up there, who's running in 3rd. 12 car around again right here in front of the 15. That's going to be Douglas Wyatt as I roll it backwards here on my monitor, and he just gets completely out of shape here off the turn. Not sure what turn that is, but he just gets wild out of shape.
JD, I wouldn't even try count what turn that is. I'm so lost.
Yeah. I mean, Watkins Glen I can do pretty well. Sonoma I can do pretty well. I can pretty much figure out where I'm at on that track. But Mid-Ohio, I've never turned a lap here. I've not gone for a ride with anybody here. And I guess shame on us. Maybe we should have showed up here and practiced and went for a couple of rides here. But I tell you what, with only 11 cars on the lead lap, we had 23 start on the grid here. Nathan Bowers went out 13 laps ago. He only made it a couple of laps around this place, but Nathan Bowers, an 85 car, up on the hauler and headed for the barn. Randall Watkins in the 77 machine. He's the 11th car on the grid. He's the last one on the lead lap. Douglas Wyatt in that number 12 machine would be the next one, but he's one lap down. So with the 11 cars on the lead lap, now 10 cars as he gets lapped by the leaders up here.
I heard a big yell from our cameraman Laura Lawson. That was kind of funny.
Yeah, she Laura down there. She ain't got nobody to talk to, so she gets on our comm channel here and starts screaming at us when she sees something. Of course, she's got the bird's eye view of the whole 9 yards here, Cowboy. She's the one pushing the buttons down there. Oh, it's Douglas Wyatt and that 12 machine just getting wild out of shape. But Wyatt having a really tough night here. He's still running back here in 12th position, but he just gets absolutely out of shape here in some of these turns.
I want to take our attention back up front right now. How about Ben Burnett leading the race, the 11 machine? He's been up front a lot. He took the lead on lap 1 and he hasn't looked back. If you look at his lead, it's kind of shrunk a little bit. I think it was up to 3 seconds at one point, down to 1.8. It looks like we saw somebody running them down before. They slipped and they lost a few spots. I think that was Rhett McBride. You see McBride now back to third, 4 seconds back. But Bobby Terrell, I mean, he's gotten up to second. He's kind of running down Burnett. Looks like he's getting a little bit closer here, actually, as he works on the racetrack. Terrell's been very consistent. He's one of those guys that you see come towards the end of a race, and he comes charging hard. We saw him a little bit at the short tracks, I think. Some of the intermediate tracks, he's been really, really strong, and I think we're seeing him really strong here at the road course as well.
You bet. And Ben Burnett is about ready to put Barry Hines down here a lap. As Barry Hines in that 57 machine up here in 19th position. Barry doing everything he can to try to stay out in front as Barry goes down off the 11 car on pit road. Ben Burnett in the pits. We'll keep an eye on that situation. 18 laps in the books here as Ben Burnett works that number 11 machine down pit road. He pulls up into that number 1 pit box up here. He'll come to a screeching stop, and looks like it's going to be 4 new shoes and a bucket of oats for that number 11 machine here at Mid-Ohio.
Bobby Terrell was being told was quite a bit faster than Burnett the last lap by, and I think that was kind of a calling sign to Ben Burnett. If he can make it off, he'll come down pit road, get tires to be a lot faster, and that's what he did. Comes down, he's now out in the way, 4 tires of fuel for the 11 machine. This is the first time the lead has changed hands since lap 1 of turn number 1. It was Burnett going around Rhett McBride. Now it's Terrell and McBride going around, and they're going to be scored in first and second with Burnett back to third. He might even still be, actually he's going to be behind Campbell, but Campbell still at the pit. Everybody still at the pit, so Burnett will start the cycle of green flag stops here, JD.
You bet. And I'll tell you what, keep an eye on Bobby Terrell up here as he chases down that 57 machine. So a couple of bonus points with this Cowboy. But next time by, we should see the number 7 come down pit road with the 15 of Rhett McBride, I would think. So. And of course, you can throw Glenn Campbell in that mix too. I mean, you want to stay in the same sequence as the leaders. You don't want to let them get too far separated here. Fresh tires, you can put considerable distance between you and the competition out here that have not stopped yet. So Ben Burnett with those fresh tires in that number 11 machine, he's only sitting in 3rd position. He's only 3 seconds. Well, scratch that. I believe he's 3 seconds back of the leaders, but I think we need to come across and get the timing markers again.
Yeah, he's just got to come across the start finish line for our scoring telemetry to update, which should be just right here. He has now scored in 7:25 seconds and a half behind the leader. But right now, if you look at his lap times, he ran a 1:52. He's still getting up to speed, so that will be a slow lap for him. But I have a feeling he's going to be quite a bit faster than the race leader when he gets back up to speed. So that means Bobby Terrell's got to get to pit road relatively soon, or else he's going to lose quite a bit of time that he'll have to make back up.
Terrell just turned that last time by with 1:29.992, Cowboys. So I tell you what, Burnett had better throw some hay to them ponies pulling that number 11 machine. But Bobby Terrell, who is not pitted yet, is just wicked loose coming off the turn. He's picking them up and laying them down here. Like I said, a 1:29.99 last time by.
Would you believe me, JD, if I told you that was over a second slower than the lap he had ran before? As the 43 goes around in front of the 7, he's going to go out into the grass. 7 gets by, all right. He isn't held up very long. He's able to get back to it and back on the throttle. He's still running away from the 15 of Rhett McBride, who sits in second. To come across the start-finish line, he'll lay down a Rhett McBride lays down a 1:30 lap time. But you look at Bobby Terrell, same thing. 1:30 lap time. Had to check up a little bit for the 43 and work a little bit of lap traffic. But if you look at Ben Burnett, I don't think he'll be across the line for a little bit. I have a feeling he's going to be extremely fast as you see him actually coming across the line here in just a moment. We'll see his lap time is going to be a 1:27, so about 3 seconds faster than both our leaders right now.
And Doug Roth and that 43 machine. I love them old Richard Petty throwback colors on this car, but he just gets wild, out of shape, loose, off into the grass, no harm, no foul, gets it refired, back up on the track he goes. So Doug Roth and that 43 car going for an e-ticket ride. But you're absolutely right, Dakota, keeping an eye on the leaders up here. Ben Burnett, he's picking them up and putting them down too, now up to 6th position, that 11 machine. But he's got some lap traffic up ahead of him, and that presents nothing more than an obstacle, 2 obstacles in fact. That's going to be the 10 of John Abbott and the 69 of Augusto Gabaldoni up here. So, or no, they're not lap traffic. They're on the lead lap. Burnett's got to get around Abbott and Gabaldoni. They're actually running 4th and 5th.
How about 15 laps? They're going to be 14 to start finish line here, JD. But I heard an incident, but I guess we're good here as they come across the line. Going to pick up another lap. 14 laps remaining now at Mid-Ohio. Leader is still a little off the pace. They maybe a second faster than they had been the previous 2 laps. But Ben Burnett, he's not slowing down any as he's going to come across the line here in just a moment. You want to talk about Chad Cole? He was having electrical problems. He's in 20th, scored 4 laps down, but they have that 4 machine back on the racetrack and rolling as he is subbing for CJ Levere. Burnett comes across the line. He's actually going to be a second slower than the leaders this time as he had to work through a lot of lap traffic there, like JD was talking about, or even lead lap cars there as well.
Don't know if that was a mistake on Burnett's part or not, coming in a little bit too early. Terrell and McBride still on the track with Glenn Campbell out here running in 3rd. So these Cowboys have not come down and got their bucket of oats for their ponies yet, as Glenn Campbell occupying that 3rd position up here in that 44 car. Campbell kind of quietly making his way to the front here with Augusto Gabaldoni back here 20 some odd seconds back of the leaders. Ben Burnett's got to get around Gabaldoni, and Ben is now running about 23 seconds behind the leaders. So chasing down the 69 machine of Gabaldoni. So Burnett's got to work around as he does. You can score 1 for Burnett as he comes around. So Burnett moving forward now inside the top 5. Burnett trying to run down Bobby Terrell out there in front.
If you look at it this way, Burnett was 27 some seconds back at one point in time. He's now 23.8 scored as what he was scored last time as he comes up on slow cars. One of them stopped on the inside and one slow on the outside. This might hold him up. Another one stopped. That's 65 of Ed Williams Jr. trying to rejoin the racing surface. That's not want to interfere with Burnett. So kind of let him go as we have another one coming down pit road just behind Burnett. Not sure who that was, but he's made up 4 seconds. If you look at that time when they come down pit road, they're going to at least be out 4 seconds, if not more, that they're going to have to make back up. Now, he will be on older tires running a little bit slower lap times possibly, but they're going to be very consistent, get to a lot of lap cars possibly. I mean, there's going to be a lot of variables that are going to determine whether or not they run well or can run it back down, but I have a feeling Burnett's call was the right call. I mean, you got to watch that 11 car. He's come up a little bit short. I think he's really been working on what to do to get a win here at a road course.
And Barry Hines in 18th position back here. Roll it back here just a little bit. The 57 comes off the turn, and either the steering stuck or the throttle stuck, but he goes for an absolute E-ticket wide, gets airborne all the way across the track into a header nosedive into the catch fence on the opposite side. So if we can get a rerun of that one, Cowboy, I'll tell you what, the 57 machine of Barry Hines, Becker on, I believe it's lap 20, 18th position. He just comes off, either his steering stuck, his throttle stuck, something, but he takes an E-ticket ride, does a jump. He jumps the entire track all the way across into the catch fence on the other side. Wow, what a ride.
What a ride indeed, JD. That was interesting.
You think? I mean, wow. Hey, in the meantime, up here, we're keeping an eye on Ben Burnett, who's now worked himself up into the 4th position, so he is absolutely trying to run down Terrell up there in the front. We're 24 laps into a 35-lap race, so things are starting to wind down here with about 11 laps to go here at Mid-Ohio Sports Park.
It looks like he's just around 3/4 of a second to maybe close to half a second. You know, he's somewhere around between a half a second, 3/4 of a second faster every lap now, but he's slowing down a little bit here. Just another one.
And we've got somebody else. I mean, I catch these, man, you really got to pay attention to your peripheral vision because these guys get all over the track here sometimes. I'm watching, I think it's a number 62 car. It is a 62 car. He gets wicked out of shape. It's going to be John Wilco. He gets out of shape, gets off into the grass, goes for an E-ticket ride here. And I'll tell you what, you talk about off-roading at Mid-Ohio. This cowboy does an off-road trick all the way across the grass. I'll tell you what, put that baby in 4-wheel drive and go for a ride.
And he's still in the grass. He can't get back on the racing surface without getting in the way, and I think he knows it, so he's trying to stay out of the way in the grass here. He's going to run out of room to be in the grass. There's going to be a car coming underneath him. He's going to be clear here if he can get back on the racing surface. Yeah, I think he has a lot of damage. It might be preventing him. Not sure, as it looks like he's going to get back on the track and try to drive away here. Going to come up on a turn that's going to be a slow turn, so he'll be able to check up immediately. As he gets the grass again, he's going to be very careful in 62 machine as he comes down pit road.
All right, 62 car in for some repairs on that machine. But I'll tell you what, you know, you talk about 4-wheel drive and off-road, and somewhere in the ETV Live archives is actually quite a few races that we did. I don't recall the league, but we did an off-road series, truck races, and I'll tell you what, Cowboy, those were a ton of fun. I mean, it's just like the real deal. I mean, those guys get those trucks flying up in the air off the hills, and some good racing there. But 62 car in big trouble. You know, John Wilco was kind of minding his own business. He's a couple of laps down. You know, looked like he was having a pretty decent night, but car just getting out from underneath him, and unfortunately now he's sitting on pit road getting the repairs done. He'll probably be there for a little while.
And speaking of John Wilco, the leaders just went by him to complete another lap. They're going to stay out. So they're going to try to complete another lap on the racetrack. You're going to wonder when they'll come down pit road. It's been about 5 laps since Burnett came down pit road, and I would say his lap time's close to evening out with the leaders right now, as they're not running. Actually, I think Bobby Terrell was actually faster than Ben Burnett last time by.
And I have not seen, we've not seen Bobby Terrell come down pit road yet. So I don't know. He may be running out of luck here pretty soon as Ben Burnett, ever so slowly, lap by lap, starts, you know, closing the distance on him. But Ben Burnett still sitting about 20, let's call it almost 24, 23 and a half seconds behind Terrell. Burnett still's got his, you know, still has his work cut out for him, but it's going to be up to a pit stop by Bobby Terrell and Rhett McBride and Glenn Campbell. Campbell may be an easier car to overcome here. Campbell sits about 19 seconds. He's kind of stuck in between the leaders and Ben Burnett. So, but we'll keep an eye on that situation. John Abbott, who has kept his car clean all night, I tell you what, give that cowboy a 6-pack and a bucket of oats. John Abbott having a pretty good night here at Mid-Ohio. That number 10 machine of his running in 5th position.
Yeah, 10 car, been very stout tonight. He's just kind of riding around, minding his own business, a lot like Stefan Marinak, points leader, who sits 6th. He's been riding around. He's made his pit stop already, I believe, as he's fallen quite a few spots back, and he's now 40 seconds behind the leaders, just waiting on them to make their pit stops so he can make up a little bit of time. And I think that, that's just the goal. He's just riding around, just trying to get a top 5 or a decent finish out of this. He's about 6 seconds back from John Abbott currently. We talked a little bit earlier about the 84 machine. You said no spare sheet metal, I believe, if he comes home clean. Looks like he's has a decent race going for him. He's only 1 lap down currently, but the leader's closing in.
Absolutely, and I'll tell you what, looks like Ben Burnett has finally caught the 44 machine up here, so Burnett trying to find a way around the that 44 Glenn Campbell up here, as they are just right on the bumper here. So we'll keep an eye on that situation. Bobby Terrell, in the meantime, has just pretty much set sail out here. Rhett McBride having a decent night here up in the front as well. Only 8 cars left on the lead lap, and Justin Wilson, he's bringing up the rear of the pack here. He's 1 minute and 9 seconds off the leaders up here. So about 20 seconds or so. That's about let's call it better than 3/4 of the track. I think Bobby Terrell's only about 1/4 of the track away from putting Justin Wilson down a lap in at number 50 back here in 8th position. So we'll keep an eye on that. Meantime, we're watching Ben Burnett. I believe has finally got the 44 machine, so move Ben Burnett up into 3rd position, Cowboy. I'll tell you what, Bobby Terrell better start looking back and talking to a spotter, figure out where that number 11 machine is.
Yeah, but he's fallen back now 2 seconds from where he was. I believe he's now 24 seconds behind the leaders, so starting to lose time on the leaders. That's something he does not want to do, especially because they're going to be on fresher tires when they get back out there. But then again, you got to think about this. The 11 has gained a little bit of time. Now it's just going to be up to him to hold him off if he gets the lead after they make their stops. And the question is, when do they make their stops? We have 28 laps completed, 35 that are on the board. These guys don't have much longer to go. Are they saving fuel, or what's going on here?
Yeah, I don't know. And Burnett's already worked himself up into 3rd, and as much as he's 24 seconds behind, he lost that time to Glenn Campbell. Trying to get around that 44 car. But I think Burnett can make that time up. He'll be able to make a whole lot of time up when McBride and Terrell make their pit stops. So I don't know. These 2 Cowboys up here in front running 1 and 2, Terrell and McBride, they might be in trouble here before this thing's over with here at Mid-Ohio. 29 laps in the books. Next time by, it'll be 5 to go here. Don't know whether they're going to have enough fuel to make the distance or not. I don't think I have not seen anything from Terrell or McBride on pit road at all. So unless we missed it, which would be a huge mistake on our part, I have not seen that 7 or that 15 on pit road yet at all.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I don't think they've been on pit road. If you look at their lap times, they haven't even backed their lap times down enough to actually be considered saving fuel here. So I don't know exactly how far they can go, but I don't think it can be much farther here, JD. 30 laps on our road course, I do believe, is pretty much stretching it here.
Yeah, and the 15 breathing right down the bumper of that number 7 machine up here. So Rhett McBride waiting to pounce on Bobby Terrell up here in the front for the lead. So it's a pretty good battle going on up here. Really no other battles happening on the track. Everybody's so spread out now. The majority of the field a lap or better down already, starting with Brian Harvey back here in the 66 machine. But in the meantime, we'll keep an eye on the battle up here in front, Terrell and McBride, and see what these 2 can put together here for Ben Burnett. Burnett, he's coming, but last time by was a 1:28.623, so he can get around this place lickety split. Now whether he can do it in the next 5 laps, hey, that's the unknown.
Yeah, not sure, but how about that 1:28.263? That is going to be a faster about a second faster than the leaders. Actually, a second faster than Rhett McBride, nearly a full second faster than Terrell. That's going to be making up a little bit of that time he lost when he was racing the 44. And as it looks like he comes across the line another 128 as he makes up another second or so on the leaders. He's coming pretty quickly here as he goes around the 62 of John Wilco, who again goes off the racetrack, gets big time sideways, saves it. I don't know what's wrong with the 62, but big time problems for that machine as it got on the brakes and it looked a lot of sideways. So something could be wrong with that machine.
Yeah, he's on foreign territory. Those cars don't belong on road courses. That's the problem with that 62 car. But I tell you what, one car we haven't talked a whole lot about tonight. Let's go back to the 84 car, take a sneak peek. 13th position, the 84, Jimmy North. Hey, he's my cohort on Tuesday nights on the Rewind BS and Back Talk. It's a whole lot of BS and Back Talk mostly. But Jimmy North managing to keep that number 84 machine on all four tires and pointed in the right direction. So big apology to the Rewind BS and Back Talk fans. Sorry, Cowboy. Probably isn't going to be any souvenirs this week off that 84 car as Jimmy North just kind of off for a Sunday drive here at Mid-Ohio. If I know Jimmy, he's got one elbow out the window and the other one up on the wheel, and he's just kind of cruising, looking at the sides, looking out both windows, and just saying hi to the fans as he comes past the scoring tower here. So Jimmy North having a good time here at Mid-Ohio.
Now hold up, JD. Don't forget what JD says. It ain't over till the fat lady sings.
Back up to the front real quick. The 15 car almost getting the 7 machine up here, but Bobby Terrell almost taking it sideways. Rhett McBride was on the outside. Terrell prevails and almost had it. The 15 car was right there, Dakota. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, you're good. I was watching that, but I was trying to say that, JD, don't forget what JD always says. It's not over till the fat lady sings, and I have not heard any singing done yet so far.
A couple of obstacles out in front of McBride and Terrell up here as lap traffic kind of blocking the way here a little bit. They get out of the way. Terrell takes off. McBride staying right with him here to the finish of this thing. 31 laps in the books. The battle is between first and second up here. Burnett, hey, he's 22, almost 23 seconds back. I don't think he's going to be able to make up the time.
16, I believe, is Marvin Termeyer Jr. just having a lot of problems. He just got big time sideways and into the tires. He's going to go as he spun that car around the 16 machine around as he gets off and into the grass going through the next corner. Big time troubles for the 16 machine. Looks like he's just, having a lot of problems here, ready to get down pit road or, maybe ready for this race to be over. It is almost over. We're into closing laps here.
You got it, and I'll tell you what, Cowboy, about 4 laps or so to go here at Mid-Ohio, and Rhett McBride chasing down Bobby Terrell up here in that number 7 machine. Rhett McBride looking to get the job done, can get right to the bumper of the 7. The 7's got a lot of horsepower coming off as McBride kind of struggles coming off. He gets into these turns in pretty good shape, but it looks like his problem is getting back to the throttle and keeping the car pointed in the right direction. Again, looking on the inside of the 7 machine. 7 slams the door shut. Now he's looking on the outside. Can't get it done. The 15 almost goes around. The 7 hanging on the lead up here is the 15 right on the bumper through the S turns. And I'll tell you what, Terrell is an expert at this road course stuff, Cowboy. He gets in and off in lickety-split time. The 15 trying to run him down.
And they're talking over the driver's channel, talking to one another. I couldn't hear what was said, but they are going back and forth as it looks like Terrell's going to get a little bit of a gap here, and he's going to get maybe some cushion here. You got to wonder, is it almost time for pit stops? Can they make it, or do they have to pit? If so, if they do have to pit, is that why they're putting a gap between the two of them right now?
4 laps remaining here at Mid-Ohio as the looks like Bobby Terrell down pit road. The 7 machine on pit road. This might be the mistake that Ben Burnett was hoping for. Ben Burnett running 20 seconds behind the leaders. We'll keep an eye on that situation. But the 7 machine of Bobby Terrell on pit road. Rhett McBride still on the track. As this is the advantage that Ben Burnett and that number 11 machine was looking for.
Yes, Terrell's actually rolling away now, and here comes Burnett. He is, I don't even know that he's going to get past Terrell. He's going to be really close. But yeah, he's not even going to make up the spot on Terrell. Terrell didn't take tires, I don't think. He might have just took fuel. And that's going to get him out right behind some lap cars here. As he's just, he's going to look to the inside of what I believe to be the 84 of Jimmy North.
And we'll keep an eye on that as they come back around. There's only one scoring and timing marker here on the track, and that's right there at the start-finish line. So we're about maybe a half a lap or so away from that as they race it out here. But Bobby Terrell with that number 7 down pit road looks to be still out in front of the number 11 of Ben Burnett. Not sure on the time until he's come by the timing and scoring marker. And when they do, we'll get a more accurate time of how far apart they are. Rhett McBride occupies the lead right now in the 15 machine. He, too, has not been down pit road. So we'll have to keep an eye on the 15 car as well. Figured that him and the 7 would have come down at the same time, but they did not. So as we come down, working past the start-finish line here, Burnett and Terrell will be by here just shortly as Rhett McBride's got about a 5-second lead. Of course, we're not going to trust that because of scoring and timing.
There in 11, Power drifted through the corner, but 15 car, he stays out. He's got 2 laps to go. If you run out of fuel at a place like this, it is a long way to coast to get back to pit road, JD.
And Terrell was able to get out, and I'll tell you what, there's only about 9/10 of a second that separate Bobby Terrell from Ben Burnett. So the 11 cars got to 7 in eyesight. However, Rhett McBride, if I'm reading this right, guys, Rhett McBride is 19 seconds out in front of Bobby Terrell. So it may be over for the 7 machine here as we've got 2 laps remaining here at Mid-Ohio.
And you got to remember, though, he's got to come around and complete this lap, and he's got to go a whole nother one on the same fuel tank. You saw the 7 is pitted, the 11 is pitted, the 24, everybody's pitted besides this 15 car. You've got to watch out for that because that could come back to bite him because now he might have to save fuel. There's a lot of things he's got to watch out for right now. You got to know that driver sitting in the car very nervous, and that's not a position a driver wants to be in. You want to be focusing on the racetrack, but now he's got to do a lot more than that. He's going to come around near the pit road entrance. We'll see if he pits this time. Not able to as the 43's on the outside, so he's going to come around, try to stay out and not pit here at Mid-Ohio as he comes to take the white flag.
As Rhett McBride collects that white flag, I'll tell you what, the battle is now between Terrell and Burnett back here. They're close enough to about a couple of car lengths apart from one another, but I think the 11 might have wasted the tires trying to make up that time on the leaders up here after that early pit stop of his. So Ben Burnett trying to do what he can to maybe earn another position, take that number 2 spot away from Bobby Terrell. But I'll tell you what, Cowboy, that number 7 machine, he can wheel a car with the best of them up here, and he's pretty much shown that here at Mid-Ohio all night long. So, but Rhett McBride on his final time around here at Mid-Ohio, next time by, he'll pick up that checkered flag. And Bobby Terrell looking for a second-place finisher with Burnett chasing him down here. But I'll tell you what, it may be a little too late here. The 11 machine now drifting back from the 7 car up here as we get close to the finish line.
Yeah, watching the 15 car now coming around some of the final turns here. He's just got to hang on. He's just got to have enough fuel in the tank to make it to the start-finish line. He had a 17.2 second lead when he came across the start-finish line last time by. He's just got to make sure he maintains some of that. It sounds like he might be out of fuel.
And the 15 car is slowing down here, 57 miles an hour, 50 miles an hour as he comes through the final turn here down the front stretch. Is he going to make it? And he will make it across the start-finish line. It will be Rhett McBride. And that 15 car has got to be close to being out of gas here. Bobby Terrell will finish. Oh, Terrell goes for a slip and slide back here. Bobby Terrell gets mixed up with a lap car here, guys. I think this is before we even get to the start-finish line. So Terrell is going to go backwards. Ben Burnett is going to finish second at Mid-Ohio.
Wow, how about Rhett McBride saving that much fuel? He's
the
he's
11
coasting
machine.
now.
Burnett turns the 7. Ben Burnett turns the 7 car, guys.
And I'm looking at this now. Looks like the 11 comes in really, really hard. The 7's checked up for a lap car. 11 throws it in. He's going to turn the 7 car around because he had nowhere to go. He stops, but then he rolls away. He's just going to take the position. He's going to get away with it there as you see the lap car go by Chad Cole, another lap car. He's only going to lose one spot on the racetrack, I believe, though.
Yeah, Bobby Terrell's going to finish in third position, but I tell you what, lap traffic getting in the way. I mean, who would have thought on the final lap, closing the distance on second place, and there it is. But I'll tell you what a battle between these three guys, Rhett McBride, Ben Burnett, Bobby Terrell. You can stick Stephen Marinac in the mix. What a turn of events for these guys here at Mid-Ohio tonight.
I'm entirely shocked. Road racing is extremely interesting. Something new happens every time we go there. We see fuel. I didn't even think that was possible, making it that far. He's still running. I believe he might actually still be on the racetrack right now, coasting, of course, but nearly out of fuel. I don't know how he saved that much fuel. I don't know how he made it to the end, but he did it. Burnett coming home second, turning Bobby Terrell for the spot. How about Bobby Terrell? Fantastic run for the 7 machine as he's coming around the racetrack. Marinac, points leader, he's going to manage to come home fourth, and John Abbott, again, going to round out the top 5 in his 10 machine. Very solid night, very clean night. He's able to sneak into that 5th position.
You bet. And I'll tell you what, for not being very familiar with this track, it was kind of exciting to watch these leaders. We've got a number of cars that finished off the pace, starting with Brian Harvey in 9th position. The rest of the field looks like this: Jimmy Jones, then Douglas Wyatt, J. Randall Watkins. Jimmy North manages a 13th position finish here. Ed Williams Jr., Marvin Tunemeyer Jr., Doug Ross, Chad Cole will finish 17th, and with just overwhelmed with electrical issues on that number 4 car here tonight. Steve Almindo, John Wilco, Barry Hines, who had difficulty here in the 57. Keith Brooks Jr. in the 71 machine will finish 21st. Eric Arnold, who has some difficulty early in the 47 car. Of course, Nathan Bowers, who put it on the hauler and went to the barn here very early in the race. So Rhett McBride, he's going to take the trophy home here tonight. Ben Burnett will finish in second, with Bobby Terrell running in third, Stephen Marinac in fourth. Rounding out your top 5, John Abbott in that number 10 machine was a solid top 5 finish for him. I'll tell you what, Cowboy, we're going to step away. Let's take a commercial break. When we come back, the post-race show from Mid-Ohio, we'll have your top 3 right here on ETV Live, so don't wander off. We'll be right back. And we are back live here at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course, and I'll tell you what, 2.4 mile course, something similar to Infineon and Watkins Glen, but I'll tell you what, Cowboy, I think these guys are pretty sick of road courses by now. But I'll tell you who isn't. That's going to be Rhett McBride with a solid first place run here tonight. Rhett, what a trophy run you had here at Mid-Ohio.
I appreciate it, JD. Yeah, it was a pretty good night for us. Had a few little mistakes, a couple of missed shifts, and got me behind Bobby for a while there, but it allowed me to kind of back up my corners a little bit and save more fuel, so it was kind of a blessing in disguise.
And, does it pay off starting up there in front? I mean, we watched, I think it was Matt Lacrosse last week, from start to finish, led 36 laps over there at Watkins Glen. So, I would guess that starting up front, is that part of the key to success here at Mid-Ohio?
Yeah, I think so, JD. I mean, that's kind of what did me in last week. I think I qualified 5th at the Glen, and car spun in front of us in the carousel and really had nowhere to go, and that just kind of ended our night. So for sure, if you can be up front, You kind of stay out of the trouble. And so, yeah, I think better you qualify on these road courses, that puts you in a stronger position for the race for sure.
Of course, the burning question up here in the booth for me and Dakota, we were trying to keep track of pit stops. Now, we did not see that 15-car pit at all. Did you manage to make it the entire distance?
Yeah, we did. I clutched it all the way around on the parade lap, and I had about 3/10 of a gallon left, just enough for a burnout, and rolled it back around. So, yeah, we went the whole way on one tank.
I tell you what, Cowboy, I kept going back and checking my records and looking at my notes. I thought, I know that 15 has not pitted yet. But in the meantime, we saw Burnett come down pit road. We thought, oh, man, what a mistake that was right there. Of course, Terrell and McBride staying out, and we thought, oh, my God. And, of course, Burnett, he falls back, good 25 seconds or so, 24 seconds. But what a solid run. Coming into tonight's race, you're sharing the seat with Brian Harvey. So this is a big points night for you. Should move you up into at least sixth position, I would think. And who made it happen for you, bud?
Well, I just got to thank Inside Sim Racing TV for sponsoring. Also, Hippies Paint. You guys up in the booth at ETV do a great job every week. I want to thank my teammates, Mark Bratcher and Clint Monahan. I don't know what happened to them tonight. They should have been here with me, but guys at Peach State Racing. And my sponsor, Leo, with GT Omega Racing Sim Chassis. If you guys are looking for a quality rig, just give Leo a call at GT Omega, and he'll hook you right on up. And also Fanatec.
Outstanding. I'll tell you what, Cowboy. Red McBride going home with the trophy from Mid-Ohio here, and what an outstanding run that he made. And I'll tell you what, when it comes down to pit stops, Red McBride can get the job done, run the entire distance without even making a stop here. So it takes that kind of strategy to be successful. I'm going to throw it on down pit road. I believe Dakota Ehrman, he's caught up with our second place finisher tonight, Ben Burnett, and what a night this Cowboy had.
He started from the second position, able to take the lead on lap 1 out of turn number 1. Heading into turn number 2, he is the leader. He leads every lap to about lap 19. He's being run down. He comes down pit road. We weren't sure about that call. It looks like he was making up a lot of time and just didn't have enough time to get there at the end. Looks like the 7 was able to beat him on strategy. But however, there was a big incident. The final lap, we all saw the 7 car and Ben Burnett and the 11 machine making contact, and Burnett able to sneak away. What happened there, Ben?
I just run it in the corner, and there was a lap car there, and wasn't expecting him to be there, and just run out of room. Hate it. Feel bad for Bobby. I'm glad he still got third. But yeah, I never would have thought that Rhett was going to make it the whole way when I pitted. I figured the fresh tires would give me the advantage, even if they only took gas. Worked on catching back up to Bobby, but just couldn't do nothing with Rhett. Congratulations to him, by the way.
And Ben, man, when you were up front, you looked really, really stout. How good was your car overall tonight?
It was real good. Was just riding, waiting for the pit stop. I had a strategy and was going to play it out, but the car was fine. Car was great, actually. Crew did a good job. Had a good pit stop. Everything was good. Just didn't anticipate Rhett going all the way.
And Ben, man, I mean, you've come to a lot of road courses. You've been really, really stout. You've come really, really close. There's another second place finish. I mean, you've had a lot of top 5s at road courses. Are these some of the tracks you look forward to? I know we saw you at Martinsville really, really strong. In the Monday night series, you come here in this road course. It seems like you're really, really, really strong here. Are these the races you look forward to, or what are the tracks coming up that we might also see Ben Burnett running up front?
I do. I really like road courses. It's funny. You put me in a stock car on a road course, and I can do wonderful. Put me in a road car on a road course, and I absolutely stink. I don't know what it is. I guess it's just the heavy bodies of these cars. I understand them better. You can muscle them a little bit more than you can a road car. Road cars are more finesse. But yeah, I look forward to the road courses. Looking forward to Monday night. Hopefully, I can give Chad and Dwayne a run for their money. I like all the tracks coming up. Some just better than others.
All right, Ben. Finally, any shots you want to go ahead and throw out there real quick?
Yeah, Inside Sim Racing for sponsoring us, Hippie's Paint Shop for sponsoring us and painting my cars and putting me in a ride. Sweeper One Carpet Cleaning, ETV, of course. Y'all guys do a great job. Look forward to the broadcast. Axo Sanitation and Richie B's Restaurant.
All right, thank you, Ben, and look forward to seeing you again next week and Monday night. Now, J.D. Webb, he's standing by with the third place finisher. That was Bobby Terrell. Rough night, but a really strong night, a really interesting night for that 7 machine.
Started in the second position last week at Watkins Glen. He'll finish in second position last week at Watkins Glen. Tonight, Mid-Ohio, he starts in the fourth position behind Ben Burnett and Rhett McBride, and he will finish in the third position. But I'll tell you what, Cowboy, this guy can wheel a car like none other. The number 7 machine of Bobby Terrell. Hey, third place finish, not too shabby.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, it was a good night, other than at the end. I never dreamed Rhett would go without pitting. I never even thought about it. I just didn't think we could make it. I was about, I don't know, 7 or 8 tenths short, and if I'd known to save that on the pace lap and then, save a little bit more here and there, I might could have made it too. But oh well, that's the way it goes.
That's the way it goes. I'll tell you what, I think Rhett McBride might have given away a couple of secrets up there during his interview, but, we saw that number 7 come down pit road there right at the end, and we thought, oh my God, this is going to be it. And we saw fuel only, and you get right back out there, able to hang on to it. And then what a race here tonight. Of course, Bobby, you finished second last week at Watkins Glen. You're finishing in the top 5 here at Mid-Ohio. Like Ben Burnett, you got to be pretty good at these road courses yourself.
I'm not a road course specialist, but I mean, I like them. I mean, they're just fun to drive to me. I really enjoy it because it is, you got to be finesse about it when you're driving, and I really like that. And I really wanted to win tonight because tonight's my birthday and I wanted to win, but that's just the way it goes.
Oh, no, how come we didn't hear about that before the race? Happy birthday, Bobby Terrell.
Yeah, I wanted to win.
That would have been a pretty good birthday present. Wish we'd have known about that. We'd have put a big old sign up there on the broadcast. But, Bobby, I mean, it's always fun to watch you run here at the Asphalt Assault Series here with Real Sim Racing. And, I mean, you can wheel a car like a pro. 495 laps led here this season. So keep your eye on that number 7 machine for sure. Bobby, any shout outs out there you want to give?
Yeah, I'd like to thank you guys up in the booth, and I really appreciate all that y'all do. Inside Sim Racing, Hippie's Paint Shop, Derek Spirit Designs, and Stroker Ace Team, and Red Ass Chassis Works for helping me out with my chassis.
All right. And congratulations to our top 3, Rhett McBride going home with the trophy. Of course, Ben Burnett with a solid second place run. And then Bobby Terrell with that number 7 with a third place trophy here from Mid-Ohio. Dakota Irvin had to run out the door. We sent him downstairs to help Laura kind of clean up the trailer down there a little bit. And but I'll tell you what a night here at Mid-Ohio. And, of course, live on ETV Live, there's a whole lot more racing coming your way. You can check the broadcast calendar at etv-eplay.net. The link's right there on the top of the page up there. Hey, join us tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m., the Super Speedway Cup Series. Hey, it's Corn Dog on Corona night, back in the saddle again. So looking forward to that one as well. So for the Asphalt Assault Series here, John Abbott and all the boys at Real Sim Racing, Laura Lawson downstairs pushing the buttons. Of course, my partner up here tonight, Dakota Irvin. That's going to do it from ETV Live. We'll catch you next time.